I had 4 minutes left. I could have done it to 15, but I want to get all this in. Okay. A lot of politicians and public officials, when crime happens, they bash the gun owners. Okay. For instance, if criminals take to the street and kill each other, don't forget gang members kill other gang members. Gang members fire stray shots, and stray bullets go out and kill innocent people by accident. And usually when a community loses a young kid, the young kid is usually the one kid out of 1,000 that wanted to go to college. Okay, there's always that kid. He grows up in a poor neighborhood. His parents are separated. His father's in prison. He gets straight A's in school. And he says, I want to get a scholarship so I can go to a really nice college and I want to play football. Or I want to become a lawyer. Or I want to come back and become the mayor. Okay? The kid who wants to do good in life is always the kid that gets shot when the bullet fired by the gang member goes straight. That's who it always is. It's just always it's a scientific fact. It's always the one good kid that gets killed. And the politicians' reaction to that, well, pro-gun politicians will still defend the Second Amendment. But the anti-gun politicians, who are sometimes found in large cities, come out and say, what are these gun dealers doing? What are these gun owners doing? Okay, they make this public outcry, and they've sometimes appeared at memorial services for the kid. They've sometimes appeared at public rallies a week after the shooting, and they've said the gun dealer this, the gun owner that, the Second Amendment this. We should shut these gun dealers down. These gun dealers are causing them problems. Okay, here's the issue. Gun dealers usually pass the test, okay? The liquor store test, okay? A police officer grabs a kid, tells the kid to go into the liquor store and buy vodka. If the liquor store doesn't sell the vodka to the kid, the liquor store passes the test. If the liquor store does sell the vodka to the kid, the police officer goes in there and either gives a fine or maybe an arrest. Same thing for gun dealers, okay? Police officers have gone undercover into gun shops to make sure the gun dealer is following the law. And sometimes they may even go into a gun shop and say, I want to buy that gun, but I don't want to give you my name. And they want to see what the reaction is going to be from the gun dealer. The gun dealers will almost always pass the test. Almost always, okay? I cannot think of a single incident. There might be one on record, but I cannot think of a single incident in how many years where I could pinpoint a specific gun dealer that was caught doing something illegally. Criminals buy their guns from the illegal dealer, who sells the gun with the serial number scratched off, who sells the gun without paperwork, who is himself a convicted felon. Why do you always want to bash the gun dealer? Here's what the gun dealer does. The gun dealer spends money to get a federal license that allows him to deal. The gun dealer sells police officers their off-duty gun, their home defense gun. When the officer is on patrol, he has the city's gun. But other times in his life, he has his own personal gun. The gun dealer sells the law-abiding citizens their guns so they can protect themselves from the criminals that are running the street. The licensed gun dealer pays taxes. The licensed gun dealer votes. The licensed gun dealer puts money into the economy. The licensed gun dealer hires people to work and he creates jobs. So why are you taking it out on him? If you have actual proof that he is doing something under the table, you should have him investigated and imprisoned. But unless you have proof, you should watch what you say. Because the illegal gun dealers love this. Illegal gun dealers love anti-gun politicians. They love them. They absolutely love them. Because when the criminals start shooting each other, when the criminals start shooting little kids, first thing the anti-gun politician wants to do is go out and point out the gun dealer and send undercover officers in to spy on the gun dealer 24 hours a day, and send undercover officers to spy at gun shows. Here's a good clue. Most police departments have databases of convicted felons in the area. If they don't, they should. Okay? Maybe there's a convicted felon within 50 miles of your city who was released from prison for an actual gun crime, i.e. armed robbery. Maybe there's a convicted felon who lives in your neighborhood who just spent 10 years in federal prison for selling illegal guns across state lines. Maybe you want to look into them. Maybe you want to set up surveillance at their house. Maybe you want to have undercover officers go and try to buy something from them. Okay? Maybe you want to try that as opposed to arguing sympathy against legal responsible gun ownership. Maybe you want to turn around to the guy behind you who we pay for with our tax money and say, you know what? Guns are bad. When you protect me, don't carry a gun anymore. Seriously. I have no problem with the politician supporting the Second Amendment, driving around with armed guards. If he supports my right to bear arms, I should support his right to bear arms. But I get very, very uncomfortable, excuse me, when he bears arms or when he has bodyguards at my expense. I get uncomfortable with that. 50 years ago, these people didn't have jobs. This is my opinion. This is an opinion, not a fact. If a politician or any other public official is against any part of the Constitution, they should automatically be disqualified from service. If someone takes the police test and they score 100 on it, and they're a convicted felon, they're automatically exempted from the police department. Let me check my time for a minute, please. I have time. Okay. Now, if a judge is nominated to a federal bench, okay, I'm just saying this as an example. The judge has to be confirmed by the Senate and the Congress. The judge goes to the Senate and the Congress and says, yes, I did this, yes, I did this, yes, I did this, this. Okay, and they answer questions and give answers. I have seen candidates for federal judge that have said they don't believe in the Second Amendment, they don't believe in the self-defense law. Here's my point of view. When any candidate, don't forget, federal judge is appointed for life. They either retire or die. They don't get thrown out of office. They can't be voted out. Okay, the state judge can be voted out. We vote for the state judge. We don't vote for the federal judge. Once the Senate confirms the federal judge, they're in for life. If a federal judge says, I don't believe in any amendment, it could be I don't believe in the First Amendment, it could be I don't believe in the Second Amendment, it could be I don't believe in the Fourth Amendment, I don't believe in the Fifth Amendment, I don't believe in the 21st Amendment. That judge should automatically be disqualified from that position, period. No more questioning, no more voting. Do you believe in the right to bear arms? No. Thank you, there's the door. Do you believe in the right of free speech? No, I don't. Thank you, there's the door. Politicians that want to run for public office. It doesn't matter how many signatures they have. If they are against the Constitution, they should not be allowed to hold public office. Now, the politicians that believe against the Second Amendment and against self-defense law, they represent the minority of most fanatical. Okay, some politicians just believe in heavy regulations on guns. Some are reasonable, some are unreasonable. But the 1%ers that absolutely want the Second Amendment abolished, that want self-defense law abolished, they should be exempted from office. They shouldn't even be allowed to run. Yes, this is America. Yes, we're entitled to our opinions. You believe in this, I believe in that. We're allowed to disagree. This is still America. But the Constitution is not an opinion. The Constitution is a fact. And if you don't believe in the fact, you don't have office. You should not hold office. Go and do something else. Go and open a small business. Go and write books. You should not hold public office. Okay? The Constitution is our way of life. It protects the people from the government. It does. It guarantees the government protects the people. It guarantees the government protects people from criminals. It guarantees the government does this, that, and the other thing. Okay? The Constitution doesn't exactly say protect from criminals, but it does say the government protects people. It does say that people are free from government encroachment. So, you should not hold public office if you don't believe in the Constitution. That's the way it is. Because that's our way of life. And there are certain public officials that are holding power right now that don't believe in the Constitution. They believe the Constitution is a living document and they should be allowed to interpret it the way they want. Tough. That's tough. When you talk about the Constitution, your opinion is irrelevant. It doesn't matter that I like alcohol or don't like alcohol. It matters that the Constitution says if I'm 21 and I'm not driving a car and I'm not on probation and I'm not in prison, I can drink alcohol. I can't drink alcohol and drive, but if I'm in my own home and I want to drink alcohol, as long as I'm not bothering anybody else, I have a right to. It doesn't matter whether you agree with it or not. It matters that's what the Constitution says. I have one more point I want to talk about. Once again, I gotta check my time. I'm gonna stop and do part 4 because this is not gonna take more than 3 minutes.